Welcome.
Attention, please.
Welcome aboard.
Welcome to the No Comfort Zone podcast. It's time to get out of your comfort zone and live on purpose. Broadcasting to the world from Rockford, Illinois. This is your wake-up call.
Warning.
You are the solutions to all your problems. Stop thinking average. Become the hero version of yourself. Every day, every time, without fail, no exceptions. It all matters. You've entered the No Comfort Zone. It's time for a reality check.
Who are you going to help today? Who's the one person that you're going to go out of your way to help? Who's the one person you're going to connect with today that you can look at and say, you know what? I am going to spend my time, my precious time, and I'm going to help somebody accomplish something or do something. That's what the No Comfort Zone is. And when you realize you become part of the No Comfort Zone community, I'm having a terrible time building my Facebook, the Team No Comfort Zone. I don't know what I'm doing wrong, but I'm not really big on the social media, not really at all, but there's a few. And I guess I need to spend more time in that space, but I don't know. It just seems like such a waste of time. It seems so superficial. I would rather connect on a deeper level. And maybe that's my niche. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe I'm not going to do that. But I am on there and I'm trying to create a tribe. But if you become part of that, you have to know that you're going to have some superpowers. What do I mean by that is you got to be the quiet person that's going to be willing to help other people get where they want to go. And you're doing that because you've gotten past your insecurities because you followed the No Comfort Zone. You've gained major confidence. You got rid of self-doubt. You believe in yourself. And now people around you are starting to believe in you. And what am I selling? Man, this is such a thing for me lately. Like I said, my co-coach Floh, he's like, what are we really going after here? Do you want to go after sales, management, leadership, speaking, relationships? You're kind of all over the place. What are you selling? And I'm saying, belief in self. That's what I'm selling. Do you believe in yourself that you are a creator and you can create a reality of what you're looking for? Do you believe that? Most people don't. I didn't. It's not until I worked my tail off over a long period of time and then after the end of that, did some major intense work over a 60-day period that I created the No Comfort Zone Blueprint, that I realized that life's magical and I can create my own reality. And the reason why I'm talking this over and over again, and I think I've got probably 170 podcasts that keep going over this No Comfort Zone, is because it's real. I really experienced it. And so have a few other people. And why would I not want to share this with the world, letting them know that the No Comfort Zone is a real thing? When you get outside of your comfort zone, that's where the magic happens. I saw that in a meme. And then I made that my reality. And how fun is that? When you could do that, you can create the life that you've always wanted just by getting outside of your comfort zone and challenging yourself on a consistent and yes, regular basis. Because every minute and every moment, when managed, counts. Rather than let time pass you by, take those 15-minute blocks and challenge yourself. Keep challenging yourself and never get comfortable with where you're at and where you're going. It's really crucial in the big picture of things. So that self-doubt, I look at my self-doubt from relationships, from work, from stepping up to, just there's so many different things. When push comes to shove, there's 2 times in my life that I did not step up. 2 times in my life. And one of them is really, there's a lot of them, but there's 2 that come to mind. And one's really, really terrible. And I regret this moment. And if you're out there and if you're a therapist listening, or if you're somebody that's maybe have been there before, this is really hard for me to talk about. But one of the times that I didn't step up in my life was, and I regret this, ladies and gentlemen, this is terrible. I ended up not stepping up at a time when my son was roughly 3 years old. And my wife and I went to a pool party of her friends from the fitness company that she worked for. And this is my ex-wife now. And we were letting the kids do what they do, and everyone was drinking and having a good time. I actually wasn't even drinking, believe it or not, Sunday afternoon. And I know that's hard to believe, but I just wasn't really drinking. I had a beer, but I wasn't drinking it. And we're hanging out, and I'm having a BS conversation with somebody that I didn't like, didn't care about. Hi, how are you? How's the weather? Nice pool, nice house. I just didn't fit into this crowd. A bunch of tools, as a matter of fact, which is even more upsetting because I was wasting my time, which I don't do anymore, with people that I can't stand. And what ended up happening was my 3-year-old son, I lost track of him. And as I lost track of him, I saw my son floating in the pool, and no, he didn't pass away. I don't want to freak you out on this podcast, but he did come up and he sank back down, and I froze. And my ex-wife had to jump into the pool because I froze. I was in complete and utter shock, and I didn't step up. And even now, while I'm telling you this, I hate the fact that my body was in shock and that I locked up. I don't know why that happened. I don't know why. I wish I could tell you I'm that guy that would jump in there and dove in the pool, but I didn't. It's so hard, and I don't ever want to be that guy again. So he's now 20. Yeah, I think he's 20. Oh, that's embarrassing. No, he's 19 now. Sorry, he's 19. And we just started talking again, and we were tight up until he was like 14, 15. Then he didn't want to be around Dad anymore because Dad had rules and stuff like that. But now we're talking again, and he's happy. And one of the podcasts, I'm just glad he's doing well. But back then, I felt the guilt and the shame, and I carried with that for me for a very long time. Thank God he was okay. Thank God he was breathing when he got out of the pool, but he did almost drown, and he did have water that he had to spit out. But the craziest part is this. I never forgave myself for that, and I never forgave myself for it. So when the opportunity comes for me to fight or flight, I always went to fighting. I would always overreact. And again, if you're a therapist out there, this is something I've really never really dealt with like that. But if you're going through something like that where you didn't step up and now you overcompensate for it, it's something that I got to change about myself. But when I get challenged or when something really bad happens, I know I will put myself in harm's way because I never want to live that moment of being the guy that froze. It was just god awful. Another time that I didn't step up on a totally different subject, but just to be a little bit more transparent, was that when was going through my divorce, I never stood up to my ex-wife. I was a coward. I never stood up. I was so afraid to face her in court that it compromised my life for a while. And it's one of those life's regrets that I have, that I truly wish I would have stepped up and actually made a commitment to fight her and all the wrong that was going on, regardless of how it was going to end. But I didn't. I hid in hotel rooms. I hid in other relationships. I just avoided the whole situation in its entirety. Going back to that situation with my son, this kind of is one of those things where, and if you were there, if you listen to this was one of the worst days of my professional life. I was giving a motivational meeting to roughly 20 people, and I was in the zone, and I'm talking, and I see a guy drooping his eyes and bobbing a little bit, and he has a seizure, and he falls and hits his head on the tile floor in front of me. I don't know CPR. I don't know how to resuscitate somebody. Nobody else did. So I'm not going to say I'm a big person, but I'm not going to say he was a little person either. He was much smaller than I was. And I was freaking out, and I grabbed him. And what I ended up doing was I was squeezing. I had my fingers on his back and my thumbs on his chest. And what I was trying to do was resuscitate him. I was freaking out. I was in shock again. Freaking out, trying to squeeze him to start breathing again. I didn't know what to do. And the most embarrassing part, I yelled, "I don't know what to do." And everyone just stared at me. 20 people staring at me. And then I cursed really loud, I think, and said somebody needs to call the ambulance or whatever. And then somebody finally came up and said he needs to put his feet up. He's probably having a seizure. This is what you need to do, and this is how you need to behave. And I'm telling you this right now from the bottom of my heart. The no comfort zone blueprint, as magical as it can be when you get through it, those are challenging times when you have to face things like that. And I'm just telling you that the blueprint can be all over the place, but when you narrow it down in certain areas of your life, you want to be prepared for life when it happens. And I wasn't prepared. But when life happens, you want to be the person that people look to say that, you know what, I can help the situation. Dan, we need help. And yeah, do I call it the hero version of myself? Yeah, I certainly do, because I'm not afraid anymore. I handle stuff and I take things on head on, because I would rather do that than sitting at the poolside watching my son bob in the water for the second time, or watching this sales associate pass out in front of me and me not being able to do anything because I don't know what to do. Do you understand where I'm going with this? So if you are looking for a different life, this is that time in your life where you got to start taking action. But if you don't know what to do, go to Dan at the No Comfort Zone. Hit me up on the blueprint. Go to thenocomfortzone.com. Go to Instagram. Go to Twitter. It's No Comfort Zone 1. Find me. Let's see if we can connect so that you can start living a better life. And how do you do that? You do it by getting outside of your comfort zone and living on purpose.
Say goodbye.
Want more of the No Comfort Zone? You can follow Dan on Instagram and Twitter at No Comfort Zone 1.
Bye.
Or on the web at thenocomfortzone.com.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to the No Comfort Zone podcast.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.